Hello, I'm Dr. Paul Bowles. I'm with the Washington State University team working in collaboration with the Extension Collaborative on Immunization, Teaching, and Engagement, or EXCITE. This is one of 3 videos on neuromarketing science that is part of the Getting to the Heart and Mind of the Matter toolkit. There are many other modules for you to use to help you learn from the toolkit that we've produced. You can watch any of our other videos about motivational interviewing, science media literacy, or this module on neuromarketing science by clicking the link to each of the modules in the description. Let's press on. Welcome to Neuromarketing Part 1. This is part 1 of 3 videos on neuromarketing science. This video is an introduction to neuromarketing, a tool for health communication. Before I proceed, I'd like to thank my co-author on the toolkit and these videos, Dee Moo. She's a doctoral candidate and research associate in the Neuromedia Mind Lab in the Neuro College of Communication at Washington State University. There are 3 objectives in this first video of the 3 videos. Objective number 1, gain a basic understanding of neuromarketing science. This video is an introduction, a high-level introduction, that just will give you a basic understanding. Objective number 2, understand how neuromarketing informs brain-friendly content. We're going to talk about that idea a lot, brain-friendly content. And objective number 3, understand how neuromarketing specifically and uniquely applies to health communication. A starting point for this video is obviously to first define neuromarketing science. And it begs the question, what is neuromarketing? Well, on this screen is your textbook definition of neuromarketing science. It is a scientific approach to creating and delivering effective communication content. It's an approach that draws on brain science. That is especially important. That's what makes neuromarketing science unique. It draws on brain science to gain actionable insights for creating content that resonates and works with the way the human brain uniquely processes and responds to information. That's another key point about the added value of neuromarketing science to the creative process. It uniquely informs creative content because it is fundamentally grounded in the science of how the human brain works and processes information. Now, that's a textbook definition. So I'm going to modify that question just a little bit to my kind of flippant version of what is neuromarketing? Say what? Let me see if I can simplify that for you. Here's the way I love putting neuromarketing to groups that I talk with this science about. Neuromarketing infuses, I love that word infuses brain science into the production of communication content in order to effectively connect content to the human brain. Your basic understanding requires you to understand that that's the added value of neuromarketing. It effectively connects content to the human brain. Neuromarketing science is really taking the modern marketing world by storm. Here's a figure I pulled offline. Companies are predicted to spend a total of $3.2 billion on neuromarketing solutions by the year 2032. So the industry is using this science extensively worldwide to make content that sells stuff more powerful and effective. So the way I think as a social scientist is, why don't we use this great science of creative content and how to do that in a brain-friendly way to produce more effectively, produce pro-social health communication content. I've had the pleasure of having my own little, what I call a media science adventure in this area of neuromarketing. I've had the pleasure of authoring a methodology book on the approach, psychophysiological measurement and meaning. In the Neuro College at Washington State University, I have a lab that does this neuromarketing science on communication content. It's called the Neuromedia Mind Lab. I've also had the huge privilege of working through this science with some industry clients like AARP, NBC Universal, as well as some others. So the reason this approach is taking the modern marketing world by storm and has so much potential for pro-social communication is that neuromarketing fundamentally empowers professional communicators. It empowers, I'll say that again, empowers professional communicators to combine brain science with their fantastic existing creative intuition and expertise to develop, design, and deliver content that is going to more effectively achieve desired objectives. Those three words, develop, design, and deliver, we're going to talk about that quite a bit. When I say develop, I mean just the early stage content development process. When I say design, that's where you start rolling up your sleeves, getting to the nitty-gritty of thinking through actual creative tactics that are going to be built into content, like color and graphics, etc. And then deliver, obviously you have to deliver that content over the right powerful technological platform to be effective with your target audience. And I would argue that all of this, the fact that neuromarketing science uniquely empowers communicators, as well as infusing the process of developing, designing, and delivering content with brain science, is especially important for effective health communication. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. Applying neuromarketing science to developing, designing, and delivering effective content requires a basic understanding of how the human brain processes communication. Not in this video, but in the second video, we'll go into how the human brain works in some basic foundational detail that you've got to know if you're going to effectively apply this science as a professional communicator. Right now, I'm going to communicate the very important basic idea about the human brain, that it does not at all define communication experiences by traditional industry definitions, meaning it doesn't think about communication, it doesn't experience communication the same way professionals are used to thinking about communication experiences. Professionals are used to thinking about communication experiences, say in terms of maybe a specific persuasive strategy you're going to use in content, in terms of delivering content, thinking about media planning and the right tech platform to deliver content over, like digital, smartphones, billboards, etc. The point here is that the human brain defines communication based on the experience that the sensory elements of communication content evoke. And that doesn't necessarily line up with traditional industry definitions. The brain thinks about content and the experience of processing content from the perspective of color, motion, size, language, those kinds of things. In terms of technology, it thinks about the user interface, the sensory experience of interacting with a smartphone, for instance. And that's not how traditional industry definitions of communication experiences and content work. Ultimately, the point is that neuromarketing science is a great tool for engaging and effective communication content. That's what it helps you develop as a pro communicator. It helps you develop what I term brain-friendly content. I love that term. Brain-friendly content is content that is strategically and purposely designed to work with how the brain actually works and processes information. That is the opposite of what I call brain-unfriendly content. We'll be talking about that idea as we get more into the details of the human brain and strategies for effective health communication content. Brain-friendly content brings together all those sensory elements that the brain is using to define a communication experience. It brings those sensory elements together in a way that does these three great things. Number one, effectively engages the audience by capturing and sustaining attention. Number two, effectively educates the audience by structuring content to enhance memory for key messages in the content. And number three, I love this one, effectively empowers the audience through the presentation of accurate scientific information and an emotional tone that enhances attention and memory for the communication content. That is really brain-friendly content, empowering the audience. And that is especially important for health communication efforts. Effectively engaging, educating, and empowering audiences through brain-friendly communication and neuromarketing science, as I've argued all along in this video, is critical for effective health communication. And I'll just give you two broad reasons out of a whole lot of reasons. Number one, this is the no-dub point. All health communication is highly emotional. The instant you start talking with people or communicating with people about their health or a health issue, it is highly emotional. Number two, neuromarketing science uniquely, through the added value of brain science, helps communicators develop brain-friendly emotional content. emotional content that effectively works with how the human brain works. There are two ways that as a health communication or communication professional in general, you can apply neuromarketing science. One is just apply your basic understanding. Again, you don't have to be an expert in neuroscience or brain science to do this, but you can, as a professional communicator, just apply a foundational understanding of how the human brain and mind processes information, which we're going to go into detail in video 2, to the task of developing, designing, and delivering brain-friendly health content and campaigns. Here's a very brief example. I just very quickly pulled off the web landing pages for 2 county health departments. And I think if you look at the health department from Missoula County and look at that landing page, it shouldn't be too hard to figure out how the design of that page is brain unfriendly. And then alternatively, from the Whitman County Public Health Department, how their landing page is much more brain friendly. Second way you can apply neuromarketing science is obviously do it. Health communication professionals like yourself can engage with a neuromarketing science supplier to conduct applied neuromarketing science content testing. I told you we have a lab, the Neuro Media Mind Lab, in the Neuro College at Washington State University. It's a lab that does this science, and we partner with entities that want to use this to optimize the brain-friendly impact of pro-social and health communication. But there are a whole lot of other suppliers. Like I said, this has taken the marketing industry by storm. If you want to get information on other industry suppliers that can actually do neuromarketing science, I encourage you to take a look at the Neuromarketing Science and Business Association organization and their website. As part of this project, we actually conducted an applied neuromarketing science case study, and I encourage you to take a look at that video that is actually supplemental material or an appendix to this series on neuromarketing science. We detail that case study and how we actually did our neuromarketing science as part of the Excite project, and that video is hosted by DMU. Thank you for watching and learning with us today. Again, I'd like to personally thank the Excite Foundation through its interagency agreement with the USDA National Institute on Food and Agriculture and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention for funding this project. We really hope the toolkit and, more specifically, these video modules are very helpful to you and your community stakeholders. I'm Dr. Paul Bowles. Thank you for your attention today.